Good Tuesday morning, South Florida. I'm morning sealed meteorologist Julie Durda, and we are under a tropical storm watch for Broward and Miami-Dade, extended into the Keys as a tropical storm warning, as we are also under a storm surge warning, all because of Milton that is expected to head towards the northeast along the west coast of Florida. Now, what does a tropical storm watch mean? It means that we're expecting tropical storm conditions possible in the next 48 hours. It will be upgraded to a tropical storm warning later today, as we also are dealing with that flood watch. We saw several flood advisories over the past several days. As for the rain, plenty of it out there. We're expecting another day of soaking showers and storms. Temperatures responding to that rain already in the mid to upper 70s and lower 80s. Winds anywhere between 5 to 16 miles per hour. The winds are expected to pick up today. That will provide for a high risk of rip currents for beachgoers, and we are under that tropical storm watch for Miami-Dade and Broward. For you boaters, a tropical storm warning for you in the Keys. We'll already start to feel those tropical storm conditions. Those tropical storm force gusts will be in the Keys by tomorrow morning, and then eventually into Broward and Miami-Dade. So here's the forecast. We are expecting that flood threat today going into tomorrow and Thursday. Here's the latest on Hurricane Milton. As of 2 a.m., the winds of 155 miles per hour. It is expected to be a Category 3 hurricane before making landfall somewhere north of Fort Myers, south of Cedar Key, possibly right over Tampa. So things we're going to be watching over the next couple days. Our local forecast stays wet and stormy today. Tomorrow, tropical storm force wind gusts as those storms will be wrapping around the center of Milton over the Gulf of Mexico. And then we really see improvement in our forecast by the end of the week and this weekend.
It is Tuesday, October 8th. I'm Eric Yutzi.
And I'm Alex Finney. Thank you so much for being here on this Tuesday morning. Of course, as you can expect and anticipate, we have a very busy news morning for you. A lot of big stories, but we're going to get to everything in just a moment, because our top story this morning, of course, tracking Milton. And Hurricane Milton downgrading to a Category 4 earlier this morning, but we do know that the storm is expected to pack quite a punch when it reaches landfall along Florida's west coast by tomorrow. More than 12 million people are under hurricane watches and warnings in our state. Another 8 million under a tropical storm watch, including South Florida.
We have live team coverage for you this morning. Local 10 Samir Nefsi is in Tampa, showing us the urgent storm preparations that are happening there. Joseph Ojo and Annalise Garcia standing by with how people here in South Florida are working to stay storm safe.
But first, let's get over to our Weather Authority meteorologist Julie Durda for the very latest on Milton. Good morning, Julie.
Good morning, Alex. Eric, South Florida. Here's the latest advisory as of 5 a.m. Winds are at 155 miles per hour. The system is 560 miles southwest of Tampa, Florida. Pressure 924 millibars. It's moving east-northeast at 12 miles per hour. With the 5 a.m. advisory, brought us a new forecast cone. Very similar conditions. We're pretty much in agreement, at least the models are, that the system will be making landfall on the Gulf Coast of Florida, very close to Tampa. And it is an agreement that basically the whole state is going to have to deal with the direct or indirect impacts because of how large the system is. You can see South Florida under that tropical storm watch, Broward and Miami-Dade, and turning into a tropical storm warning for the Keys, middle, upper, and lower Keys. And then as we go to the west, we are noticing that we have that hurricane warning in effect now for Fort Myers all the way up to Cedar Key. Again, we'll be watching these watches and warnings as we are anticipating the system to move a little bit closer towards us by tonight and into tomorrow morning. Those outer feeder bands will already start to bring us some of the winds and some of the rain with Milton, but obviously the direct impact will come by Wednesday night into Thursday morning right by Tampa, just north of Fort Myers. So here is the setup that we are expecting in our own backyard. We're expecting 1 to 3 feet of storm surge for the middle, upper, and the lower Keys. I want to remind you that was the same projected storm surge we saw with Helene. Remember, Samir was out there and we were seeing our southernmost point almost underwater because of the high tide and the storm surge. Now it gets even worse. Obviously, the further north we go, the closer the approach to the actual center of Milton. We're expecting 10 to 15 feet of storm surge from Sarasota all the way up towards Tampa, just past Tampa. Even Crystal River, 5 to 10 feet, even 6 to 10 feet for Fort Myers. So this is all because of this ridge of high pressure and a dip in the jet stream, actually dragging Milton from the east to the north, and is going to project this system across some upper level winds. And that upper level wind could help shear the system just a bit, but not enough. We're still talking about a major hurricane making landfall on the west coast of Florida as we go into Wednesday and Thursday morning. What does that mean for South Florida? We're talking about the indirect impacts. Well, tropical storm force winds expected Wednesday morning for the Keys, middle, upper, and the lower Keys expected anywhere between and 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts. And then in our own backyard, Broward and Miami-Dade, we tap into those wind gusts as well as those rain bands by Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night, and Thursday morning. We are under a flood threat today and tomorrow, as we have that flood watch in effect until Thursday. We already have rain on the radar. This is all from a whole different disturbance we talked about yesterday, and a lot of it is just to the west of us, though we are seeing the Sawgrass Expressway, Alligator Alley already getting soaked. So for you in Weston, get ready. These storms are headed your way. Miami-Dade, you'll tap into those storms as well. I'll have a lot more in the forecast coming up.